Good morning, here, now, there, or never. Today is the daily chapter reading of Some of It Was Real, Borrowed. Chapter 17. Downstairs, a deep male voice calls. Hun? Hannah replies, in the kitchen. I guess we should go down. See him, Sylvie says. She runs a hand through her hair, twists it into a bun, pulls it down, pinches color into her cheeks, then blows out a few times like she's psyching herself up for a race. Come on, boyfriend. If you thought tea was fun, this'll be a riot. She looks so uncomfortable that I almost feel sorry for her. I suggest, let's leave Chris in the room so she isn't hit by shrapnel. Good idea. Sylvia sets a large yellow striped pillow with tassels on the window seat. At least she can look out the window. I didn't choose to make her an indoor cat. Why would I care that she knows that? Sylvie asks, who did? We lived in a city, lots of cars, but my mom really had her declawed to protect the furniture even though it was always covered. I place Chris on the pillow. She's lighter than she could be, a collection of bones covered in fur. She hasn't eaten since last night and can't afford to lose any more weight. We'll bring her rice with lots of butter, Sylvie says. It's not like she read my mind. Obviously, I'm worried. I almost tell her that Chris won't eat it, but instead hope she's right. Am I wearing the right clothes? I'm in jeans, a red and black plaid flannel shirt, and blunt stone boots. Sylvie looks me up and down. You look good, boyfriend. Let's go meet Dad. Word of warning, don't ask for my hand in marriage until he's had a few beers. She stands on tiptoes, kisses me quick as a lightning strike. Her lips are soft, taste sweet. Reflexively, I kiss her back. A trail of warmth winds from my belly down. I pull away as soon as I can. What was that for? A slanted smile tickles her lips. So when Dad asks when we first kiss, you'll have to lie. You're hysterical. She wriggles her brows. Gallows humor. You're a dead man walking. Seems like your mom liked me better than you. I'm a daddy's girl. Notepad in hand, I follow Sylvie and Moose out of the room. Despite not being her boyfriend, that I'll never ask her father's blessing, that if I do my job right, her career will be torched, my nerves are raw. Sylvie's father might share his disappointment or worse. It makes me wonder what my own father would think of the career I chose, the decisions I've made. Hannah and Wes are side by side in the kitchen when we walk in. Wes is maybe 5'10", thin, face weathered, a bump on the bridge of a long nose. Deep lines radiate from avocado-colored eyes. He's in worn Carhartts, a dark gray flannel shirt, knit cap, and patched down vest. I glance at Sylvie, hands jammed into jean pockets, furtively glancing from mom to dad and back again like a little kid waiting to hear her punishment. Ah, here are our visitors, Hannah says with a flick of a knife in our direction. Her daughter is a visitor? Wes's eyes sweep the kitchen, light first on me, then Moose, finally Sylvie. Arms instantly rise to embrace his daughter, but he doesn't move and they fall back to his sides. Hey, Daddy, Sylvie says shyly. Great Danes were bred to hunt boars. Did you know that? Sylvie shakes her head. His name is Moose. Her dad asks, what are you doing here? The moment suspends. Does he hope she's come home for good? Sylvie takes a step toward him. It's kind of tragic when he doesn't do the same. Instinctively, I wrap an arm around her waist.
The next stop is Martindale Station.
Sylvie says, just visiting with Thomas, my boyfriend. He brought this cat too. Is the cat in our barn? Her dad asks. We're down a mouser. Coyotes got the last two. Coyotes? The impulse to check on Chris, make sure the window isn't open, even a crack tugs. Hannah pours oil from a silver container into a wok. Wes, she's an indoor cat. Wes tugs his hat off, tosses it on the computer, unzips his vest, starts to take it off, then buries his hands in the pockets. He's the reporter, Hannah says, the one I told you called last month. Pleasure to meet you, sir. Wes hesitates, then shakes my outstretched hand. Thomas is writing an article about me, Sylvie says. Wes asks why. The chicken hits the wok's hot oil sizzles. Sylvie explains he's fascinated with psychic mediums. The silence says it all. Your daughter is gaining quite a reputation. Her people are drawn to her. None of that is a lie. Anyway, Sylvie says, Thomas wants content that, like what I said, I was like as a child. Wes takes a glass from beside the sink, fills it with tap water, and drinks it down in 3 gulps.
Martindale Station. Doors normally open on the right.
Sylvia was a good kid, never a lick of trouble. Loved being outside, climbing trees, riding in the truck, helping at harvest time. She had a knack with plants, animals, people too. Huh, you grow pears? Yes. I say hard work. Wes meets my gaze and says honest work. Sylvie's chin pebbles, then goes smooth. This visit is taking a visible toll. I know what it feels like to never be good enough, though my mom hasn't expressed her opinion aloud. Why the hell did Sylvie agree to bring me here? Wes, go on and take a shower. Dinner in 15, Hannah says. Sylvie stands in the middle of the kitchen. To get to the front hall and upstairs, Wes has to pass by. At the last second, she steps back. 6 years and he didn't hug his daughter. Even my mother wouldn't do that. Mind showing me around the yard?
The next stop is McKnight Westwind Station.
I ask Sylvie and twine our fingers together. At the door, she looks down at our hands, waits for me to let go so we can grab jackets. She pulls wool hats out of a wicker bin and we tug them on. The sun has dropped behind the hills, twilight rapidly fading. It must be around 40 degrees, air dense with currents of freshly mown grass, flowers, and dirt. We wander down the drive. To both sides are symmetrical rows of pear trees that stretch farther than I can see. Your orchard is big? Sylvie says we have 280 acres of irrigated land. Is that a lot? Typical orchards only have about 70 acres. Ours is a combination of winter pears, medium density pears, and Bartlett pears. I ask what goes into growing them. Lots of labor.
McKnight Westwind Station.
Pruning.
Doors normally open on the left.
Spraying, irrigation, thinning, picking. Operational costs include workers' comp, insurance, and overhead expenses. She faces me. But you don't care about any of that. You want to know if my mom was always a bitch and why my dad didn't hug me. Did you expect more? She twirls a silver earring in the shape of a teardrop. I don't know what I expected exactly. I call for Christmas. Do they call you? Nope. I think of my own mother, who only calls when she's short on cash. It's becoming clear that once Sylvie left, she was no longer useful to her parents. Sylvie continues down the drive, boots scuffing along the packed dirt. Moose trails like her shadow. Mom wasn't always this mean. She was tough, sometimes distant, but there was love beneath it. She taught me to cook, how to take and develop photos, plant a garden. She made Halloween costumes. And your dad?
The next stop is Whitehorn Station.
As long as I followed in his footsteps, we're fine. Better than fine. We were buddies. They're both really disappointed. Her eyes shine. Quickly she deflects. Watch out or they'll toss Chris in the barn when you're not looking. Clearly they're not used to an indoor cat. Sylvie steps into the orchard, wanders down a row, knotty pear trees surrounding us on both sides. Their delicate blooms give off a fragrant perfume and the turned earth is soft underfoot. My mom rarely shared stories from her childhood, Sylvie says, but there was one she'd repeat. In addition to their orchard, her family kept sheep. They had an Australian shepherd, Misty, raised from a puppy to herd them. When Misty was 3, she went deaf. Mom's dad put her down, 1 shot to the head. Hannah must have been devastated. Sylvie gives a sideways look. She wasn't. What? Why the hell would she tell her own kid that story then? For the moral, it's a waste to expend resources on something that isn't useful. That dog didn't deserve their love. She didn't even deserve to live. Sylvie heads back to the farmhouse. Come on, if we're late for dinner, they'll eat without us.